with Gloria Allred. Ariel Brandon is suing Catherine Murphy in the amount of $2,140 to replace a blouse and handbag the plaintiff claims were ruined when the defendant spilled wine on them during an altercation.
What exactly is the story here, Ms. Brandon?
Well, Your Honor, I was in the restaurant with my sister and my son, minding my own business, and
Definitely you're not minding
the
your own
lady
business.
came over.
Excuse me, are you minding your own business at this point, ma'am? I didn't call on you, did I?
Sorry.
So please wait until I ask you to state your case. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Please proceed,
She
Ms. Brandon.
spilled wine over me. I was breastfeeding my child. He's
4-year-old son.
Sickly. Okay, he's 4 years old, okay? But that wasn't your business. You should have
And you
came
were in
over
the
there.
restaurant. You were in a public
Your Honor.
place. You're both out of order. Take a breath. Please proceed.
Well, I was breastfeeding my child. He's sickly. He has asthma. He dehydrates.
And what's his name?
His name is Jordan.
Okay. And how old is he again?
He's 4.
4 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
And you've been breastfeeding him since he was born.
Yes, ma'am.
And you continue to breastfeed him even at the age of 4. Why? Because of his health?
Yes, he has low immune system. He has asthma and he dehydrates a lot.
And he was drinking soda.
That's completely unacceptable. Are you going to stop interrupting or not?
No.
I'm serious. You got it? I don't want to hear one more outburst. So let's continue.
I was breastfeeding my son, and she came over like she just did. Attitude. She came over, first the waitress came over because she asked the waitress to come over, and the waitress asked me, could I go to the restroom if I mind? And I did.
Go to the restroom to do what?
To breastfeed my child in private.
And what did you say?
I said no because it's legal. I mean, I should be able to breastfeed my child anywhere that I would like to breastfeed my child. I mean, it wasn't her problem to come over there.
And what were you wearing when you were breastfeeding?
I was wearing this suit right here.
Okay, would you hold up the suit, please? So the court can see the suit.
See where the bottle of wine was spilled right here. I tried to take it to the cleaners. They could not take the wine out because it was so ruined. Also, numerous other items were ruined.
Now, I noticed that it has a button. I gather that jacket was unbuttoned when you were breastfeeding. Is that the case?
Actually, there was a blouse I had on the inside.
Oh, there was.
I had to throw the blouse away because it was ruined. She spilled the whole bottle of wine on me. And also, in the process of spilling the wine, my son was right there. She had an outburst before the altercation came, and she went to diners that was in the restaurant, and she went to them saying that I'm sexually abusing my child in front of them.
Was your breast visible to the other diners?
It wasn't. Nobody had a problem. The waitress, if it was a problem, the waitress would have came personally, or the manager. It wasn't a problem because she was making a scene in the restaurant.
So she came over and she tried to get you.
She asked because the customer wasn't satisfied.
I see. Okay. Now it is your turn.
Your Honor, I was at the restaurant enjoying nice dinner with my husband and my boys. And all of a sudden my boy says, Mommy, see, look. And all I see is that she has pulled out her breast without any cover or anything and started breastfeeding her 4-year-old son, who was drinking soda, who was eating chicken fingers. He could chew, he could walk, he could talk.
He was doing all this while he was breastfeeding?
No, he was eating before, but then she started breastfeeding him and totally exposed. Her breast was exposed, and as you can see, she has big breasts. And everybody,
why are you even looking? That's not even called for. Seriously.
Everybody in the restaurant was odd looking at her, breastfeeding her 4-year-old son. So I felt uncomfortable, and my children, because I'm from India, and this is very horrible thing to do. I mean, this is really outrageous.
But this
it's
is
not
America.
acceptable.
It's America.
Even in America, it's indecent exposure.
Well, if
Even
it's a
in
problem, go back
America, it
to
is.
India.
All you have to do is cover yourself up.
We're going to have order in this court. She was drinking wine and her child was breastfeeding at the same time.
Same time, Your Honor, same time. At that point, she yelled across the restaurant to tell me to mind my own business. Well, she is exposing, excuse me, but she was the one who was exposing, and it was an indecent exposure for everybody, and everybody was looking at her. The whole restaurant people were looking at her.
I don't really care about other people, I only care about you.
Yes, so my children were also appalled by that.
How old are your
when she-
children?
yeah, I have a 8-year and an 11-year-old.
They were pulled by the side of a woman's breast being used to breastfeed.
Yes,
A
yes,
child.
Your Honor. So then I approached her and I asked her nicely. I said, would you cover yourself or go in the bathroom? And she refused again. So I had no choice.
May I ask you, what does your 8-year-old think a woman's breast is for?
I don't know, Your Honor. I never asked him.
Well, you,
But
Coming up on Meet the People with Gloria Allred.
I didn't want to do this. But I had no choice. I had my children. I had to protect my children. That was very rude and
a
acceptable.
breast.
To be-
Okay.
Yes.
You see, you
Exposure.
think of a breast as a weapon of mass destruction, or?
And coming up,
So she's continuing to give me hickeys,
Okay.
and she has her hand all over my chest. And
Okay,
it
so
slowly
I'm
continues.
feeling, going down?
Yes.
Okay, first floor, basement,
She went down south to the border.
whoa.
we're back with the case of Ariel Brandon, who's suing Catherine Murphy over a ruined blouse and handbag.
So, Your Honor, I just took her jacket, which was hanging in back of her chair, and she could just use it at that point. So I just took the jacket and tried to grab it on her.
Okay,
And
for a
she,
moment, would you please, bailiff, would you kindly give the defendant the jacket, and then I'd like you to demonstrate for us what exactly you did with the jacket. Let's take the jacket off of the hanger, please. And if you would then approach the plaintiff.
well, I'm scared, Your Honor. She
Okay,
jumped
well,
at
the
the time.
bailiff is here to protect you.
Yeah,
See
she
how
jumped at
strong
me.
looking Brian is?
She jumped at you.
I'm sorry.
Please
I don't
please
want
stay there.
you, I don't, wait, I don't want you
Yeah.
to touch the plaintiff, I just want you to demonstrate for the
Yeah,
court
because
what
she
you did
jumped the
without
first
touching
time.
her.
No, this
Yes,
time I
you
might
did, you
actually
did.
jump for. You know what?
So it was from
This-
you know,
this close.
I just tried to just, like,
Ms. Brandon, I just want you to stand there so I can see what happened. Please proceed.
I just tried to put it like this.
And what happened?
And she jumped. And she jumped and she knocked the
Correct.
wine bottle and her glass
That's not true.
everywhere. And
All right, we're going to conclude at this time. And plaintiff, do you have any final arguments or evidence to present to this court?
It's the fact that she came over there to me. She's being funny because it's
I'm not being
legal.
funny. I'm
People
telling the
breastfeed their
truth.
child. I don't care.
I am
if
telling
it's
the
4,
truth. I'm not
5,
being
6,
funny.
7, I don't care.
You
It's
two want to
healthy.
take this
It's
outside, both of you?
No, ma'am.
All right, take it down.
It's
Take it.
natural.
Way down. You deny having your breast uncovered while you were breastfeeding.
Yes.
You deny the fact that it's your fault that the wine was spilled in the jacket, right? And then you wish to recover all of these expenses incurred because of the damage the wine did to your clothing. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
your final statement. Ms.
Your
Murphy.
Honor, she could have covered herself, or she could have gone to the restroom or something, because I could see that everybody was uncomfortable. And then they were talking loud, they were laughing, her and her girlfriend and her sister, I don't know. That
Why
kid
you
was
allowed it?
totally hyper. He was jumping all over, he was getting up on the seats and chairs and all
not
that.
true, Your Honor.
And
She's
he was
lying.
drinking soda and eating chicken fingers or whatever it was. And she
Your
had
Honor,
three,
that is not true.
times to cover herself, but she refused to do that. So she knew this was coming. I told her very nicely. I didn't want it to do this. I didn't want it to force, but I had no choice. I had my children. I had to protect my children from her rude behavior. That was very rude and
Her breast.
acceptable. Yes.
You see, you think of a breast as a weapon of mass destruction, or
I don't know
do you
about
think
that.
we should be
Your
calling
Honor.
Homeland Security in for this one?
Well, Your Honor, even in America, as I've been living here for 28 years, it is indecent exposure. You can go to a kid's store, you can go to a baby store.
Okay, well,
and get
that'll be a
blanket and
conclusion
cover
for the
it.
court, whether it's indecent exposure or not.
Yes, and she could have covered herself. And when people are uncomfortable, even if you tell somebody that you're uncomfortable with something, they do something about it, just to show the respect.
But you should
Oh,
have
you know what? I'm uncomfortable with your continuing at this point, so I'm about to rule. So I'm going to tell you that. All right? I've heard all of the evidence in this case. This is a very common problem in this country. Mothers do have a right to breastfeed. It is healthy for the child to be breastfed. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And guess what? They don't have to go to the bathroom. The same way that you cannot be ordered to go and have your lunch or dinner in a bathroom, which is filled with germs. Also, your baby does not have to have his or her lunch, dinner, or breakfast or snack in the bathroom. It is not healthy. So you were right in refusing to go to the bathroom. On the other hand, it is also reasonable, the law finds, to require that a breastfeeding mother also use her discretion to cover her breast while she is breastfeeding. I don't think that Ms. Murphy would have just gone over to you and tried to put a coat over you if your breast was not exposed. So those are the facts that I find. Based on those facts, when she went over to you and tried to put something over you because you did have notice that you should cover yourself and refused, then an accident occurred, and I'm not going to attribute the damages to the defendant. So plaintiff, I'm going to rule that you cannot recover for the damages to your clothing because you refused to cover up, and the decision will be for the defendant.
Judge Allred has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
I should be able to breastfeed my child anytime I want.
I know that justice has been served, so I'm very, very happy.
And coming up,
He was the one who was trying